Ferrari realistically gathered less than what was possible in the Singapore Grand Prix, partly due to a problematic Saturday at the 4.94-kilometer Marina Bay Street Circuit that forced both SF24 cars to start from the fifth row. During the comeback, however, Charles Leclerc showed some excellent pace, demonstrating that with a more straightforward race, the Maranello team could have aimed for a much better result, if not even for the race win with the Monegasque driver. In the next round of the 2024 Formula One Championship, the United States Grand Prix in Austin, as confirmed by Team Principal Frederic Vasseur, Ferrari will bring further aerodynamic updates, but something was already seen in Singapore, namely a new front wing. Ferrari managed to introduce the new component a few weeks earlier than expected, presenting a front wing with a renewed design in many of its elements, including the upper flaps, the central part of the mainplane, and the junction with the end plates. In recent months, front wings have been a widely discussed topic, especially regarding the controversy surrounding McLaren and Mercedes front wings, which were able to flex significantly, though the FIA gave the green light to their solutions for the rest of the 2024 Formula One season. Aeroelasticity was also addressed at Maranello, but the new specification presents several other characteristics worth exploring. Looking back, at some points during this season, the two Ferrari drivers complained about a lack of front-end grip, especially in long corners where strong front-end support is crucial, an area McLaren has worked on extensively over the past 2 years. This was evident on a medium to high downforce track like Zandvoort, where, despite the excellent race podium, the SF24's issues in handling high-speed sections, which have never been the car's strength, became clearer during qualifying. More specifically, in long sweeping corners or in sections with combined braking, the Maranello car still showed more difficulty compared to its rivals. Speaking about this new wing, English senior performance engineer Jock Clear confirmed that it will provide more front-end downforce, opening up more setup options thanks to improved balance between the front and rear, especially on tracks where greater downforce is required. For example, in Singapore, teams tend to use the rear wing with the maximum possible load, also to protect the rear tires, which are more stressed by the many traction zones exiting tight low-speed corners, but also by faster sections where the rear tires often overheat and tend to slide, such as in the final corner. Despite the fact that the Ferrari SF24 single-seater has never really struggled in tight corners, there was still room to improve the performance in longer corners, like turns 9 or 10 at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. McLaren, which has worked hard on this issue over the past year after suffering from a lack of front-end downforce, especially in slow corners, was the most effective during the weekend, having found an aerodynamic and mechanical balance that made the MCL 38 competitive in a wide range of scenarios. Jock Clear explained that on a track like Singapore, teams aim to have maximum rear downforce, but it's also crucial to find the right balance. The British engineer emphasized that balance is everything at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, pointing out that on some high downforce circuits, Ferrari had struggled due to a lack of front-end support. The new wing, designed with more load at the upper end and slightly greater efficiency, provides the Maranello team with a bit more margin. On a track like Singapore, where a highly loaded rear wing is used, the concern was also that the limitations of the SF24's front end could be accentuated in certain situations. And it's no coincidence that even with the new wing, they opted for maximum downforce, also choosing a Nolder at the front, which wasn't present on other cars. Therefore, with this update, the goal was not only to provide more front-end support, but also to achieve a better balance between the front and rear, giving the drivers a potentially better balanced car. This does not mean that the new wing will only be useful on extremely high downforce tracks, like Mexico due to the thin air, but it should also represent an evolutionary step on medium to high downforce tracks where the front end plays a critical role. Ferrari's senior performance engineer explained that the new wing is designed to shift more load towards the inside. The inner part of the component is now more aggressive, while the outer part is less so, reflecting a slight change in its functional dynamics. This adjustment has allowed the Maranello team's technicians and engineers to increase the downforce slightly. In fact, this solution should open up a wider range of setup configurations for the rest of the season, also providing more confidence in sections that demand a lot from the front end, reducing the limitations encountered throughout the season. Additionally, it will provide the engineers with valuable data for the future, as confirmed by Ferrari team principal Frederic Vasseur himself, since the technicians and engineers in Maranello are already working on the development of the 2025 Formula One car, which is currently being evaluated in the wind tunnel. There is a lot of anticipation that Ferrari could return to a title challenge next season, having become McLaren's closest challenger in recent races with Charles Leclerc. Despite the fact that they suffered a slow start to their 2024 Formula One campaign, which led to questions over whether Lewis Hamilton made the right decision to leave Mercedes at the end of the season, Ferrari's technical team is transitioning into an outfit that could yield success. The major signing is Loic Serra joining as technical director, replacing Italian aerodynamicist and longtime chassis leader Enrico Cardile, who is moving to Aston Martin. Ferrari has also made some inroads on understanding the limitations of their current car concept, which was partially why they could pull off their unlikely victory in the Italian Grand Prix at the Monza circuit.